Can you still use StreetPass in 2025? Let's find out. Hello everybody, welcome back to your Weekday Weekend. I'm Adam, and today we're going to find out the answer to that question. When the 3DS launched in 2011, I had other things going on. I was very happy with my PS3 still, despite its problems, and my DSi still did everything I needed for a portable game system. I did look at an original 3DS at GameStop, but after playing with it for a minute or two, I said, that's cool. Ow! Even as a teenager, the 3D effect gave me a headache relatively quickly. So I never even asked my parents for a 3DS, and thus it was a system that I missed out on. However, 6 or 7 years later, we're in 2017-2018 now, I found myself longing for another portable gaming solution. The Switch didn't have any games that enticed me, and it was still in its infancy. I was interested in the Ocarina of Time remake and the Pokemon Gen 3 remakes for the 3DS. So I went to Best Buy, bought my 2DS XL for around 120 to 150 bucks or so, knowing full well that the system was end of life. I figured I could get some games cheaper that way, and I proceeded to get both the Ocarina of Time remake and Omega Ruby for really cheap. But one feature that I never really messed with was StreetPass. So a few days ago, out of nowhere, I really began to wonder what the homebrew scene was like on the 3DS systems. I hadn't really heard anything about it. And I was blown away to find out that these systems are some of the easiest to get homebrew software on. In fact, it only takes around 30 minutes or so. You only need a nice SD card and a way to read it on your computer. More on that later. For now, I want to get another 2DS or 3DS system. On eBay, they're going anywhere from $115 to $200+, depending on whether the charger is included and whether they're broken or not. But really, for a decent one, you're looking at $130 plus, easily up to $200. So I figured I'd take the opportunity to look around my local area and see if I could find one cheaper. While I'm out, we're going to try to find somebody on StreetPass. So let's go. Of course, my question is less, can you use StreetPass, and more, is it useful, as in, will you ever actually find anybody? We set off on the road, and our first stop was the local Goodwill. And despite having a few books and DVDs, the electronics section was desolate. In fact, this Goodwill, like many others, is just flooded with clothes that are mostly overpriced anyway. So we set off to the next one. On the way, we stopped at Costco for some gas and got a drink at Family Dollar. We are right by the airport. And even though this Goodwill was much, much larger, as it was in a much larger town, it was the same story. This Hoover carpet cleaner was interesting, even though it looked dirtier than any carpet I would ever clean with it. This is the same hot chocolate maker Frequent Reviews did a video on. This one's broken. For $10. Unfortunately, I didn't yet get a StreetPass hit. I know in the video I'm not looking at the right spot, but either way, I didn't notice a green light on the front of the DS either. Next up is Resale to the Rescue. They're kind of like Goodwill, only their proceeds go to dog shelters. I thought that was fitting since one of my favorite games on the 3DS so far is Animal Crossing New Leaf. Extreme! Yeah, they didn't really have any electronics to speak of at all. We did find this cute tote bag though. We weren't having much luck at all finding a 3DS. Maybe we should go to Party City. Nah, instead we're gonna go to this place called Disc Replay, which is actually where I got that copy of Omega Ruby I talked about earlier. And behold, finally, a 3DS. It's an original model, but with it including the charger and it's in great shape, it's actually like $20 or $30 cheaper than on eBay. So I think we're gonna pick this one up. To make things even better, when we got back to the car, I saw this. I hope it's not that DS. I don't think it can be because that one looks like it's still just set up. I don't think that one's been set up yet, so I wouldn't think it would do StreetPass. I found Mao, who likes to play Luigi's Mansion. So obviously the only reason I got a hit on StreetPass is because I went to a place where StreetPass people would hang out. But quite honestly, if you're still playing 3DS games in 2025, then that's probably somewhere you would be interested in going anyway. So I think, yeah, you can still find people on StreetPass in 2025. You might only find one or two, and you might have to hunt for them. You're not going to get hits all day. But, yeah, you can still get a StreetPass hit in 2025. So maybe we'll try again in 2026 and see how it goes. As for the 3DS we picked up, I took it home. I followed the tutorial that I followed for the last one, which I'll put a card up on the top up there and put it on screen and a link in the description for the tutorial that I followed. It's only a couple minutes long. It was really easy. There's a 2 GB card in the 3DS. Get that out of there. Put a nice 16 gig in there. Other than that, it only took a couple minutes. Super simple. So, yeah, if you want to mod your 3DS or 2DS, suggest watching that guy's video. Thank you so much for spending your day with me. Remember, on my channel every day's a weekend. Don't forget to hit follow, join the Discord, check out weekdayweekend.net for more weekend vibes. Until next time, have a fantastic week, and I'll see you next time, next weekend. Bye!